Hey, this is Mike from Minimal 3DP, and today I'm taking a look at preFlight Slicer. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, just this morning, I happened to see this article, preFlight Slicer brings added part strength feature and many more on Hackaday. And I took a look, and basically the article's talking about a new slicer, comes from the slicer lineage of software. So this looks like an interesting project. I'll point out that at this point, the article has 27 comments, and in reading through the comments, there's some positive, some negative. Some people comment that when they look at the README file, it sort of has hints as if it was developed by AI. Now, with that being said, from what I've seen, I sometimes use AI to help me write the README because I hate writing READMEs. Looking at it, looks like a really interesting project. They have a website, they have a feature showcase, and looking at this, there's some really neat features, interlocking perimeters, and that's basically perimeters that it's not quite brick layers, but they're interlocking perimeters that should increase layer adhesion. There's other different things here that I think look pretty neat. One thing I was seeing, there's some type of scripting is built in. Look like you could do Python scripts built in as part of this. Let me go back over to the website, see if I can find that. So if I scroll down here, export to script, there's embedded Python scripting. So that seems pretty interesting. I'm not quite sure that I'd use that right off the bat, but I do like the idea of maybe using this to put plugins and add features that I want to try. This is also much more handy than doing some type of processing where the Python script needs to be applied on the back end after you slice. So again, looks pretty interesting. Now, something I've noticed here is they have multiple versions, so that's good. Go over here, I can look at the releases. They're launching it. They do mention there's a long roadmap, and there are bugs, but they're just trying to launch to get it out there. Now, something of minimal concern, but I think it's worth noting, as of right now, and again, considering that this just launched, it looks like either today or yesterday, there is only one contributor here. So ideally, if I'm going to use this slicer full time, I'd probably like to see several other contributors involved so that I know the slicer is going to stick. Now, right now it has 312 stars. I'm going to give it a star because that helps the developer. They do have a donate link down here. There's lots of different information if you scroll down through. Let's go ahead and install this. Now, I'm going to point out, I have not tested this at all. So we're literally going to see what happens when I install this and how this works. And so hopefully everything goes well. So I'm just going to start the download. I'm running this on my Mac, so I'm going to do the ARM64 version. That's going to take a minute or two to download. Did appear to install correctly, so that's good. Now, what you're not seeing, it might help if I move it to the other screen. Give me 1 second. Let me pause, and I'll move my screens around. Now, with this installed, it really does look like PrusaSlicer. Now, I'm going to need to go through, and this is what's funny, going to be a little bit rough for me because I need to see how I install and set up a printer. So give me a minute. Let me just review this because it's been a while since I've used PrusaSlicer, and I'll show you how to do that. So what I need to do is let me go up here. I'm going to go to Configuration, Configuration Assistant. This asks me, would you like to connect now? Hit yes. So this is downloading various printer makers. Now, my understanding from reading some of the comments is not every slicer or not every printer has a profile. That's not by design. They just haven't added all the profiles yet. There's no profile here for Bamboo, and I don't have a Bamboo, so it doesn't matter for me. But some people commented on it, the developer expressed that that is not a feature by design or a comment on their feelings of Bamboo. It's more just they haven't loaded it in. So we're downloading the Creality profiles, and I'm willing to bet they're not going to have a K2 Plus. Going to be surprised if they do, and let's see if this actually works. So right now, it says downloading 1 of 1. Well, that's good. So we actually have the printers downloaded. Now let's see if we have a K2 Plus here. And I'm willing to bet that this is going to be all older Creality printers. Because again, if this is based on Slicer or an older version of PrusaSlicer, it's not going to have the newest Creality. So I don't see the newest Creality printers here. I'm going to hit cancel. Let's go up here. We do have the ability to import a configuration or import from OrcaSlicer. So let's give that a shot and see if we can import my profiles from OrcaSlicer. So give me a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've switched back over. I exported out my bundle in OrcaSlicer. I'm just going to go to File, Import, and import from my OrcaSlicer bundle. Now, the first thing it tells me, which I don't want to say this is a problem, but something to note, that they don't do a one-to-one match on profile settings between the two pieces of software. That's sort of to be expected. I'm going to hit yes here. And I'm just going to start with this printer bundle, the very first one. Now, it turns out this is going to wind up installing all of my various printers. I'm going to hit import and just going to hit yes to all. Now this is importing, you'll see, so all my various settings. Now the one thing I am noticing, there's drop settings, there's no pre-flight equivalent. That's 144 different settings. Looking through this, I'm not going to say it's a major problem, but 144 settings seems like a lot. Now that may be across everything, but that still seems like a lot. Let's hit OK. And this did bring stuff over. So I'm going to click on my K2 Plus and let's do K2 Plus PLA. I'm going to do the Creality K2 Plus for the printer. And the filament I want to do is the K2 Plus. I'm going to do the PLA silk. And I guess that's all the settings I'm going to see. Let's go over here and add a shape. And don't see any shapes there I want to use. Let's go over and import a STL. And so I'll go over here to my 3D printing folder, wherever that's at, 3D printer. Let's go over to calibration. And do I have a cube in here? Well, here's a CaliCat. Let's just do that. Let's hit OK. Now, let's look at how this is set up and see if I understand what I'm looking at here. Now, I'm really not seeing very much. Okay, so here's the print settings. And this is interesting because the layer height, it didn't import correctly. So let's change that. Color mixing, and this doesn't look like what I'm expecting. So I'm not, like I said, not necessarily seeing what I'm expecting looking through this. Now, interlocking perimeter, that's, I guess, the new setting for them. Let's go through. Athena is their perimeter generator, and that's supposed to be faster. I'm looking for infill 10%. No, ironing's not enabled. I'm just not seeing anything here that looks like it could be crazy for the settings. Now, I'm just looking through all this, and nothing's jumping out at me as, well, there is pressure advance, so let's do that. I think I had it set at 0.04, or better yet, let's go over and look at how this is set. So let's hit edit here, and I didn't have pressure advance enabled, so we're going to undo that. So I disable that. My temperatures look correct. Fan stuff all looks good. I'm a little concerned about the speeds all look good. So what we're going to do is, let's go nuts here, and I'm going to slice this, and so I'm going to slice the platter, and it looks like the start code here failed. So this is a problem, and this probably now has to do with how I have this set up in the variables. So as of right now, this isn't working for me. I'll probably have to diagnose this off camera. And for right now, it does not appear that this is ready for me to print, at least for a newer printer. Now, I think I have some maintenance to do on my Voron, so I need to check that. The Voron did have some built-in settings for Voron, so I could probably try that, but I have to do a little bit more calibration on that because I just fixed something on it. And I'll probably try doing another video or just do a short showing if I can get this to print. But right now, at least for me, this slicer's not ready to go. It looks good. It has some interesting settings. The fact that we don't have one-to-one for OrcaSlicer is not the developer's fault, but that is a concern to me because I have my OrcaSlicers finely tuned. But I think this is a project, particularly if you have an older printer, this is worth looking at. Now, this is also probably worth looking at if you're not using custom start code, which would make things a little bit easier. But anyway, it seems like an interesting project, something to monitor. For right now, I'm at a standstill, but hopefully you found this informative. If you have any questions or comments, please post below. Thanks. Have a good day.